Welcome back. You're watching No Reservations with myself, Ayeshah Alam. Now, when you're doing a show like this, you cannot possibly take yourself seriously. And neither did our guests. We had some really, well, pretty hilarious moments where we just cracked up, and luckily I didn't fall into hysterical laughter, as I'm prone to doing every now and then. But it was still full of mirth and joy, I can promise you that. All right. Mistakes happen. Sometimes blurbs come out, or we say things that perhaps we shouldn't have and should have been a little bit more restrained. But we weren't. And neither were some of our guests. Let's have a look. At one point, you said in some interview somewhere, that Pakistan film industry say there's nothing noteworthy coming out. You said this a while ago. Today, sitting here in 2009, do you think your opinion has changed? Have things improved?
Pakistan की film industry का सिर्फ नाम है, film industry. फिल्म इंडस्ट्री तो खत्म हो चुकी है। अगर आप ईमानदारी से ठंडे दिल से बिल्कुल सोचें, फिल्म इंडस्ट्री का एक तो गवर्नमेंट ने कभी भी इंडस्ट्री का दर्जा ही नहीं दिया हमारी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री को। अगर गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट करती हो सकता है इनका डिफरेंट हो ख्याल, हो सकता है।
मेरी जाती राय ये है कि इंडस्ट्री कभी थी ही नहीं except for a few years.
Okay.
When the serious-minded people who went into this field considering it as a profession, taking it as a profession, considering it as a profession. Those people, as long as they stayed, we had the forming of an industry.
I heard that you found the love of your life at the age of 18.
Okay, 18, 19, 16, 17.
16, 17, wow, that's
at that point in time. I had 52 love affairs before I finally got married at the age of 19, so that was that age of growing up.
And Shahzad,
so I found love every second week, okay? But yes, if you mean when I got married to the woman I wanted to, that was when I was 19.
Wow.
19.
Certain things have to happen in your life to bring you to that point.
How should I put it? See, there were times when I was not going to school for a year. There was severe financial problems at home. My mother was almost on a deathbed. She is, mashallah, alive. And
mashallah.
I was going through an extremely crucial and a bad patch in life.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the point where, you know, there was nothing to look up to. My only strength was my writing skill, which I was depending on. And second was my faith in God. That's wrong. My first should have been the faith in God that I have. See, that's how I started discovering, see, it's Him. It's all the rules that He set for us. And you know, once you abide by all those rules, He's going to definitely reward you.
Do you abide by all His rules?
Yeah, yes I do.
All of them?
Well, not all of them. I have kind of tailored it in accordance
You've tailored His rules.
Ayeshah, you are targeting me, man. Don't target me.
Someone asked me to ask you this. So I'm giving it to you so that you can defend yourself. Someone says that sometimes you've even been called a plagiarist. Is that true? And
that is, I would quit the day I plagiarized. Unfortunately, my work standards are so good that people cannot accept the fact that a man with a brown skin is capable. It's probably because I was trained with people. I've launched channels in Europe.
When you were going through your ups and downs, very often that's when fathers, especially with a divorced daughter, it's a very difficult time for fathers to kind of accept and take on.
My father was very, very accepting. My mother found it difficult.
I'm surprised. I thought your mother would be more supportive.
It's a total role reversal. It's a total role reversal. My mother is much more conservative, finds it much harder to deal with these things. My father was much more open-minded and supportive.
Wow.
Said, okay, you don't like it, come back home. Come back to me.
Wow.
I want you back.
Wow. And when you did, I'm assuming you did go back home.
Of course,
for a short while.
I always did.
How was that? I mean, did your mother give you grief while you were at home?
No, my mother never gave me grief, but she used to feel very upset about it. She would get very depressed over it.
Okay, which obviously has an impact on you then as well.
She was never difficult about it, but she used to be very upset because she couldn't bear to see me upset. So when I was upset, she'd get upset.
The party has undergone an incredible image change. When they first came in, people associated your party, people were terrified of you. Terrified. Your name could bring spines, everyone's spines could be chilled as a result. But you've gone through this image change where it's now looked at as a more responsible party. They've actually done stuff for the city. And you're seeing people who used to be anti-MQM now going, but they have done a lot of work for Karachi and it has changed. Tell us about that transition, because that must have been a difficult period.
Right from the day one, my party was a service-oriented party, and we just believed the service of the people, serving humanity, was our main weapon. Even from, but somehow the other, since we were a small regional and a kind of an ethnic party then.
How did you convince them? Because I mean,
yeah, my mother. Actually, she stood by me. She said, "Nahi, jane do meri beti ko. Let her go. Let her have fun. Let her enjoy her life before she gets married."
Were your parents very possessive and very protective of you?
They were protective, but not very possessive. They were like, okay, because I was on TV, I used to act, and I used to write, I used to do a lot of things. So I always wanted to do different things, you know, because I think it's a lot of fun because you only have one life to live.
Sure.
So you have to do different things.
But were you like the youngest and most lardly?
I was the youngest.
There you
so
go.
The most lardly was the youngest one because, you know, I mean, so that was great. That was
that
fun.
helped you get your way as well.
Yeah.
Usually when someone has that kind of personality, it's usually because, and this may or may not be correct for you, and please you can claim it or disclaim it, because they have felt some kind of injustice in their own lives and were perhaps helpless at that time to do so, and then it becomes almost their life mission to try and make things right for other people.
Okay, in my case it's the direct opposite.
Okay.
I don't see myself as a savior per se, but yes, I do feel a responsibility because I think I've had privileges that maybe other people haven't had.
All right, now as easy as it looks to ask these questions, I have to say that, you know, you have to, sometimes it's like walking a tightrope. You can't really sort of go out there and blurb out a question, although it may seem that way. When you have a guest, they are your guests, and just like you invite someone into your home, you have to give them their due respect as well. And even if you have a tough question to ask, you've got to be very careful about how you ask it. I tried my best in that. Did it work? I think it did. Our guests, as I said, opened up beautifully. Thank you again. I can't say thank you enough. Now it's time for me to take a very short breather and for you to get a quick tea break if you like. But don't go anywhere. Stay with me. There's so much more coming up. Ayeshah Alam, No Reservations. Stay right where you are.